I first wanted to ask the question, how did you discover J. Josephine and Nightmare, of course? And what was the point where you actually wanted to film this documentary about them?
Yes, it's around 3, 4 years ago, actually. I was doing a really big research on Instagram because I was really fascinated about this youth who are using Instagram as some kind of open diary in a way.
Mhm.
And then I was also really fascinated about the young people who kind of like making some universe around them on Instagram. So I was like start following a lot of different really nice, weird young people, and then I found this profile on Instagram called Girly Goth
Mhm.
at the time, and it was Josefine, and she was I don't know, I think I kind of like had a really big resonance in her. You
Mhm.
understand? Like
Yeah.
I saw some of myself as a teenager in her, and then I found out she was living on in like the completely like countryside of Denmark, like so far you can get from like the big cities. So I was like, there must be something interesting, like being into skulls and this darkness in like the country, like were really boring.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Of
then I found out that she has this like really strong trio with the Nightmare and Jay, and it was just nice to see they have that really tight community together.
hmm there's always stereotypes of the Gothic culture that are very misunderstood and misrepresented in our
Mm,
society. But when I was watching the film, it's amazing that they're so they represent like a dark sort of like not attitude but a dark behavior, but yet they're so colorful in the film.
yeah.
Can you explain that in from a filmmaker's perspective, of course?
Yes, I think of course the black color is really important for the three of them, and I think it's somehow it's just like it kind of like expresses a lot of their inner emotions. But Josephine, she's also really playful with the like not only the goth culture, she's like into so many things. So in her world, it was this like kind of different colorful playfulness. And then I think with my eyes, there are kind of really fascinated about uh, super like intense universes. Then it was like really, I don't know, it's just it came into the picture frame all the time that it was so like full of shapes and lamps and like eyes that were glittering. Everything was really not that dark actually. And it
Yeah.
was, yeah, it's actually pretty nice because it's I think they are inside, they are full of so many emotions,
Mhm.
so it's not only like black and white and
Mhm.
darkness, it's also like super a lot of like, it's almost a comedy sometimes, the film. So it's also really colorful in a way. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Um, so it's kind of hypocritical to me to treat or as a society we treat the Gothic culture as outcasts, right? Um,
Yeah.
when in fact these three, I guess, from watching this film, they deal with their growing pains and their emotions and what their feelings and their identities. They deal with that head on. Whereas
Mm-hmm.
whereas in our normal society, there's a lot of us who don't know how to deal with those types of feelings and growing pains and emotions. So can you comment on that for just it's kind of a contrast in a sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I think for me it has been maybe one of the most inspiring thing of making this film, that they are really like clever how to like express their inner emotions with like their clothes, of course, but also like their surroundings, like really showing so like so big of a connection with the inner feelings, like
Hmm.
what you see, what you have inside, they show it outside. And I think it's yeah, for me it was really inspiring to be that close to such a young people that has this like really, yeah, it's really for me also, as you said, like not that normal, especially in that age.
Mhm.
um so yeah, and I mean, I think the outcast thing for me, it's also really, it is really weird, because of course all of them, they are from, they have been difficult in their surroundings. It's like difficult for them to, it's, they are breaking a lot of the norms. Like Nightmare, it's he's like he has been born in an Islamic with Islamic parents, so it's for him it's like really strong to dress sometimes like a girl, and he's into boys. And so I mean, it's really easy to just, oh, you are misfits, you don't fit in, because the world is so wide or straight, like
Yeah,
so yeah, it's kind of interesting. Yeah.
yes, very much so, indeed. So, did you expect? What did you expect when you first started filming this documentary? Did you see Josephine? You know, as she pursues her new life with her boyfriend. What did you first expect of how the story would like
Yeah.
play out in your film?
Yeah, I mean, I knew I would kind of follow her dreams of like leaving the countryside. It was like a really big dream for her to find another place to live. So that was kind of my main core somehow, because yeah, I love that the film is really kind of fragmented and not that super straight ahead. But I
Mhm.
knew like this story I have to follow. So when she falls in love with this guy, I couldn't imagine that this friendship would like fall apart. But of course, it's like this time in when you are, I know it for myself, like everything can like change so fast when you follow your dreams. Then something became really difficult to merge it. um so but it was a rough time, I think, both for them, but also to like stand on filming and find, okay, it's not maybe a friendship story, but maybe it is, it's like a friendship falling apart. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You put a lot of experimental and transitional sequence, which I believe you filmed yourself on the
Yeah.
side, but you blended them um, very seamlessly, and it's very fascinating as sort of like a breakup to the chapters of the film. But
Yeah.
please talk to us in regards to those transitional sequences, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's. I think, of course, it's also my kind of temper, or I like that kind of sense. But it also really fit well to. They are like what is it called? Like chameleons. Is it called
Yeah,
that in English?
yeah.
Yeah, they are like changing shapes and forms all the time. These young guys. So the film also, I think, it needed some kind of also like weirdness. So uh, I kind of like worked with some many different kind of way of telling the story,
Hmm.
that was not only with words but also with emotions and these darker periods in the film, just like really going into a mood. um so yeah, I think it just came out of the subjects somehow, because they are so like so many different things going on, and the film also needs to be a little yeah, edgy.
I want to. I want to. I love the fact that you also put a lot of the social media sort of frameworks in the film. And I think again, you do that seamlessly. Whereas like, you know, when you're watching other films and they put a lot of social media in the film, it kind of disrupts the film. Whereas you blended it so nicely that the audience won't even like tell the difference. And you know, I like that. And so tell us about that process of like just doing it
Yeah.
while you're in the post-production process, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice to hear that it works because it's really difficult when you are sitting editing to, because of course we didn't want it to be some kind of a internet movie,
Right.
or it should be more like a universe expansions. It's called that, like getting a bigger sense of what they're in, because
Yeah.
for them the internet is like really important. It's where they found each other and where they kind of have goth communities from all over the world. So I it was just, of course, this, you have to see some of the internet, but it's not like a really, I'm not a fan of the aesthetics really. It's kind of, yeah, boring. It's
Yes.
like a television thing for
Yes.
me. So I mean, I had a really nice editor who was really good to kind of give it some what can I say, like it was not only funny layer thing. It has some, yeah, it was strong compared to some of the like high production camera thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Also, I wanted to ask you in the filmmaking process, what was a filming product or like equipment that that you thought was obviously economical and efficient, and what you would recommend to other filmmakers, of
Mm.
course.
Yeah, I think for in this movie, and I think I would use it again. I have really fallen in love with this night vision function on the handy camera, and of course, it also fit really well in a film with the like darkness and the goth thing. But I also think it gets some kind of like, it's really like a really not that expensive camera, like, but it has some kind of nice energy with the eyes. It gets like looking inside the body or something, that when it gets like this animal white eyes.
Yeah.
So yeah, but of course it's also needs to be kind of in a style that works. But I really love this night vision function. Yeah.
Um, I also wanted to make a point that I'm not too sure if you noticed, but there's a lot of focus on the lips of these three, of course. And it's kind of, and I found it's kind of weird that, you know, in the world that we live in right now with this pandemic where everybody's masked and stuff like that, that we just don't see that beauty anymore, but you focused
Mm,
it on the film. Yeah, can you comment a little
yeah.
bit about that? Yeah.
I love that question. It's so I haven't thought about it, but of course it's like I have also with the coronavirus, it's so annoying that it's so difficult to film and get the emotion from people. And I think in this film they are so focused, of course, of their way of like showing themselves and like putting themselves on performing. So, and the black lips, I also worked in with the film title Black Lips some in a period. So it was like, I don't know, it's just like drawn me into this mouth. And yeah, um, but I know that I know they are really like they hate those masks now, because when you have this beautiful make on, then put it up and it's just super messy with this goth
Right.
makeup, so it's like horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell us how does it feel to be at Hot Talks this year, and what do you hope the audience will take away from them when they watch your film?
Mhm. I'm so happy with hot dogs, really, but it's, of course, it's so annoying that I cannot be there. And also with the subjects, because I know they have like a community all over the world with the goth, and it could just be
Absolutely.
really nice to like see some of the subcultures from other places in the world.
Mhm.
So yeah, that is sad, but of course everything is. But yeah, I mean, I hope that that you maybe will, when you see the film, that you will get more, you will find out that it's kind of universal stuff. It's
Absolutely.
not that scary to look different. Just be curious about people, and not. I think we are really fast to just like, oh, this is weird. I don't want to talk with it. I don't understand it. So I hope it can somehow like, yeah, build small bridges with the what we mean is difference, or yeah, weird, something like that. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Frigge.
Yeah.
I wish the best of luck to you for this film, Dark Blossoms at Hot Docs, and
Yeah.
yeah, thank you so much for giving us your time and of course your patience to do this interview.
Thank you so much.